love. It's been home away from home. My son James, he's being treated for a heart disease.
First on TLC. Investigators hoped the stomach contents found in the back of Bob Wood's truck and on the fender of his sports car would tell them something about what happened to Christopher Wood. So the samples were sent to forensic microscopy detective Bill Schneck, who examined the material with a polarized light microscope.
What I found were small little vegetative fragments, oat bran and flour particles, starch grains.
From these patterns, Schneck suspected they were unprocessed corn. Investigators found a discarded trash can, the same type as the one missing from Bob's home. But investigators had to be sure. Schneck noticed what appeared to be paint residue on both trash cans.
Well, I examined the paint from the Rubbermaid garbage can and found it contained titanium dioxide as one of the major inorganic ingredients. And I compared that to the paint overspray found on the garbage can at Robert Wood's house. And I found the paint particles, the composition was the same.
Schneck then used a scanning electron microscope to analyze what was inside the can. He found traces of vomit, consistent with Christopher's stomach contents, along with some shiny metallic particles. These particles matched the sequins on Christopher's backpack.
After examining the contents and all the trace debris on the Chris Wood's clothing and the material in the garbage can and in the backpack, I concluded that Chris Wood at one time was actually in the garbage can.
Even with this information, investigators needed more evidence to tie Bob Wood to his son's murder. They checked his cell phone records, which revealed Wood was near Christopher's body, 50 miles from home, when he was called about the fire.
In other words, it put him in the location where Chris was jettisoned at about the time that Chris would have been jettisoned.
Finally, investigators had to determine if the smoke and fire seen by Wood's neighbors at 8:30 could have been created by a fire set just 10 minutes earlier at 8:20, the time Wood said he left the house. The ATF purchased 3 sofas identical to the one in the Woods' home.
We wanted to see how the sofa would behave when exposed to fire. How fast would this sofa become totally involved? When would it reach its max heat release rate? And how much energy would the sofa produce?
Given the size of the Woods family room, the fire would have to generate at least 2,200 kilowatts of energy to engulf the room within a 10-minute period. Tests showed the burning sofa would generate more than enough energy in that time frame.
Mr. Wood said that he left at 8:20. Therefore, we concluded that Mr. Wood was present at the time the fire was started.
Bob Wood was arrested and charged with arson and first-degree murder.
It always amazes me that truth turns out to be stranger than fiction. This is the worst case of arson for profit that I've ever seen in my career.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly Sublocade may help you move forward. When problems come up and death, in emergencies, tell medical staff you love Sublocade for opioid dependence. Visit the full list of risks and side effects. Talk to your doctor and read patient label for more information. If you or a loved one is struggling with opioid addiction, visit Sublocade.com.
All right, so that's one pair of prescription glasses.
This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, headache, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent or severe muscle pain or weakness, muscle cramps, fever, rash, itching or flushing. There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, such as Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, lupus, or myasthenia gravis, or Guillain-Barré syndrome, an organ, tissue, or stem cell transplant, or receive chest radiation. Get your compartment on one, baby.
See all the types of cancer cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you. It's true. Keytruda.
While incarcerated, Bob Wood insisted he was innocent. Yet, his ex-girlfriend said Wood didn't always treat Christopher kindly.
Discipline him and just really lash out at him. But Teresa, she was his little girl. So to me, there was a big disparity between how he treated the two.
Wood's excessive spending left him deep in debt. Making matters worse, he was fired from his job for embezzling close to $100,000. Prosecutors believe Bob killed Christopher for the $80,000 in life insurance. On a cold February morning, Wood waited until Teresa left for school and then killed his son. In the process, Christopher vomited, leaving behind the evidence which would later implicate his father. Bob finished dressing Christopher, but he put Christopher's shoes on the wrong feet. Bob brushed against his sports car, inadvertently leaving his son's stomach contents on the fender. He put his son's body in a trash can and put back in his truck. Bob went back inside, set the sofa on fire, grabbed his son's backpack, and left the house at 8:20. Bob dumped his son's body in a snowbank 50 miles from home, and here he received a cell phone call telling him of the fire. On his drive back, just before Wood was scheduled to go on trial, he hanged himself in his jail cell.
The closest Bob Wood ever came to confessing was discovered after he had killed himself. We received a phone call from a psychic who said that she had visited with him in jail, and he told her at that time that there were only 3 people.
True, it's all speculation. But they really could have been much worse. Documents from my house. Personal documents, social security information, and social security cards.
But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling. If you still have symptoms after trying Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling.
A.com.